Thank you, thank you, thank you. I would start typing and so forth. I'm on my iPhone. I apologize. My internet is playing with me. I do live remotely, and I love everything that you have said, Katharina and Virginia and Richard, I believe. The questions that you're asking are so pertinent. And what I really dearly appreciate and want to affirm, I've always used the word that the harmonizers act to me in a homeopathic way. And with that, I love your affirming and explaining, Katharina, about excuse me, how it doesn't interfere with what we will just call Mother Nature. But what it does do is it supports the original intention of Mother Nature, which is always well, it supports. And yes, we can put our own intentions in, but it eliminates. And I know you'd like some examples. So we've had the harmonizers and been working with all the tools and all the rings and in every conceivable way. I mean, you come into my home and it it looks like a slim museum in ways. But the thing I guess I would like to share that over time, because I don't have a lot of contrast anymore because we've had the harmonizers for so long, I can affirm the same stories that you're talking about as far as air pollution. When the smoke comes, we're talking right now about, is the smoke coming here? We live out in the country and I live up on a mountainside. So when we implement the harmonizers to do a smoke clearing, for me, my evidence is that there's a huge radius from my home. We have, and if I go higher, we have between 100 and 300-mile radius of vision, so we can see that circle of clearing. So much has been said, and I don't need to add to the environmental clearing. The thing that Virginia said that I was so pleased to hear was about how it changes me. The thing is, the harmonizers are exactly that. They are harmonizers and they are environmental. And what's in the environment? Me too. Everything in your environment, in our environment, is affected, from the plant growth to me. And when I talk about homeopathic, I used to tell people, okay, this is not a pill that you're going to take and everything's now going to go your way. I love how you address that. What it is going to do, if you truly want change and supportive change, it's going to give you the gift of being able to come into that calmer space, have greater insight into what I'm contributing to the discourse and how I can shift that, how I can change that. It's going to make things clear. It's going to bring things and make it more obvious. Again, more of what I'm calling the mechanical results. We've had just an extraordinary spring of weather. Now we have flooding around us. We've had huge hailstorms, but not here. I'm getting, and this is again where Mother Nature's still doing her thing. We're getting the rain. We're getting soft rains, not these torrential, destructive rains and winds all around us. Just miles, 40, 50 miles in another direction. They're getting huge hail. They're getting these cloud bursts, and we aren't. And yes, we've had the harmonizers here for a long time, but our intention is also in support of harmony. We use the word, we know there's a storm coming. May we please experience this in harmony, and that which is good for the land and good for all concerned. So it's not that we miss the storm. The storm is non-destructive. The storm comes in and delivers its gift, I call it, whether it's a foot of snow or rain. One of the other things that it's hard to really be able to say and justify this, but what I notice, and you were talking about the teenagers, and I use this because we deal with so many people, and people come here from all over the world. And when the harmonizers are there, what we absolutely know and notice is that it creates a field where people come in and they begin to calm down. They begin to look at things. They feel the atmosphere of not just harmony, but I'm calling it an unconditional feeling where they can come and they can literally breathe. And they begin to open up and they begin to shift and change. You put a harmonizer on a table when you're having a board meeting, when you're having any kind of a meeting where you want to shift and change. That harmonizer creates a field where everyone feels safe enough to actually tell the truth of what they're thinking. They're safe enough to voice their objections. And all of this transacts in a harmonious environment instead of whoa, 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 whoa. You get people sharing, you get people being able to be open and not withholding and letting that stew. It creates this harmonious field. Business meetings, any kinds of gatherings. We have a lot of gatherings, whether they're huge outdoor gatherings or smaller ones. We always have the harmonizers, and all of the time it is this harmonic field that everyone can feel, where everyone feels safe, where everyone can have their experience, can have an experience of growth or realizations or insight. And I don't want to take up a lot of time, but I live in a very interesting community, and I must say where relationships with neighbors and relationships with local, let's say, leadership, those have all come into harmony over time. And these were rigid, long-standing, not that way, I'm going to put it. And we are now in relationship with our neighbors and all of our neighbors and with leadership. And do we still have our differences? Absolutely. But are we in harmony? Do we feel safe in each other's company to where we can talk about those differences? Maybe we walk away and say we still disagree, but we just had a conversation where we still disagree. We are not, we're not in silence, not speaking to each other. This is never going to come up. We're never going to blah, blah, blah. And that is the harmony, bringing the whole from the mountain to the herd. Our collaboration with our buffalo herd is one of the cornerstones of our existence. Part of our message, our teaching, our research, and what we disseminate into the world is how we are all interconnected, and how that collaboration and that ability to communicate and to understand each other and to be able to work in a collaborative, harmonious way is essential, whether you're living in the country with the wilderness and 200 head of buffalo, or whether you're dealing with corporations, that being harmony. And I guess, I could probably cite all kinds of examples, but what I can say is after 20 some years, it's absolutely imperative. The blessing of the harmonizer is it creates a field in which we can optimize, and it optimizes the environment. Yes, it does the chemtrails, and yes, it does the environmental clearing, and it does all of that. But to me, as I've talked to you before, I don't often speak, because to me, what it really does is so much deeper and so much more essential and so much more lasting. It affects every molecule of everything going on. It lifts it. It gives it an opportunity to grow and to thrive. And then it also supports that and encourages that. So I have a tendency to ramble, but thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Tanah. Thank you so much. I so appreciate